right, Murph, here you go. We're going audio, all right?
Yep.
All right, perfect. I know there's a little bit of ego in you where you think you look real good and you want to stay on camera. I know that about you. You do.
I want all my fans to see me.
All right, so first off, again, the girls now, Quinn and Anna, they're a little older. So this is going to be like what are they going to be doing this weekend that can keep them occupied so you will be able to watch the Masters? Like, is there a plan there?
That's a great question. I might need my wife to step up there and help me out because they just want to watch cartoons. They get mad when I watch golf.
And
they walk into the room. They go, "Oh, golf!"
And this is a weekend where Megan probably needs to have a plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so she'll come up with something, won't she?
Yeah.
All right, good. That's kind
we'll
of
work something out.
All right, so let's.
She knows that this is my favorite sporting event of the year.
It was funny. You look like Jim Nance and Butler Cabin, dude. When we brought you on, it was like I'm gonna have to hose you off.
Well, it's funny. I'm in my living room because Megan's in the office on a work call. Work call obviously trumps.
Yeah.
Podcast with Pete.
That's bullshit, Megan. Dude, we make money here. We got sponsors. Is that seriously why we were having? Okay. I'll deal with her later. All right, let's start off with the Masters. We've teased the people enough. Scotty Scheffler, been the most elite player in golf for the past, I don't know, 3 years. He can join Jack, right, as the only, I have it here, as the only golfer to win the Masters 3 times in a 4-year span. For him to do that, right, what needs to happen for him to join Jack in history?
I mean, I think he's the clear favorite heading into it. He's not coming in playing as well as he was the last couple of years, but there's been signs. I think he came in second last week to Minwoo Lee in Dallas, and I certainly wouldn't bet against him. He's one of the all-time great ball strikers in golf, and ball strikers seem to thrive at Augusta. So I think if he putts well, look out. He does have a lot of competition. I think Rory's coming in his game's in the best shape it's been in years. I think he's got a great chance. Couple other guys playing really well. I mean, there's so much talent on the tour these days. It's not going to be easy, but I think when Scotty's playing well, I do think he's better than everybody else.
You've played a lot of golf. You know, you're no Scotty Scheffler, but you've certainly played through injuries before. Scheffler's got a hand injury. It kept him out, I think, the first month of this year. Does that come into play at all? Like, will that hamper him at all at a major like that?
I don't think so. I think he cut himself during like making Christmas dinner or something. So I would imagine that's healed. I think he did have to take a couple weeks off in December, January, but I think he's 100% good to go.
So that doesn't concern you at all?
No.
All right. The conditions at Augusta, like, I guess, what was it? Hurricane Helene or Helen came through like in September, and I guess it jacked the course up a little bit. I think it was, who was it saying? I think maybe it was Scheffler. Somebody played on Monday or over the weekend, played Augusta, and they said it's definitely different. Like visually, like the trees.
I think visually it's different, but from the interviews I've been seeing from the guys, they're saying it doesn't change the way the course is playing at all. I think there's a couple tee shots that look a little bit less intimidating because there are some trees that were taken out by that hurricane. I don't expect there to be any major difference in scoring.
What about like visually? Like if you're on the tee box and you see a much different view of a course you're used to playing day in and day out, is there an adjustment you need to make?
I think for a golfer like me, that plays a big role. You know, when it's an intimidating tee shot, it would affect my swing. For these guys are so good, I don't think it plays that big of a role.
What'd you shoot the last time you were out?
80.
That's pretty good, Murph. I mean, you know, I think you sell yourself short sometimes.
It was unsatisfying.
Dude, you weren't as unsatisfied as Addy after a bad round. Good Lord.
No, he was struggling.
Everybody, and then everybody at his house has to go home and walk on
He
eggshells.
beat his dog when he got home. And I was giving him swing tips, so now he's in real trouble.
Yeah, only you. That's like such a master manipulator. Like, do you think Bryson DeChambeau is going to be giving John Rahm swing tips in the middle of a round?
No.
Let's get to
That's
those
a no-no. I know it's a no-no, but I just couldn't help it.
Yeah, a lot of times you can't help yourself. All right,
Yeah.
DeChambeau and Rahm, by the way, we talked about them. Those are two of the big players coming from LIV into this tournament again. Is it an advantage or a disadvantage for those dudes to be playing on the LIV tour and then come over and play a major like Augusta? Like, where are we with that in today's world?
I really don't know. I'm so excited to see those two guys play this week, to see how they do. I mean, Rahm is clearly one of the best golfers in the world. He was quiet last year. He had an injured foot, which I think definitely affected him for a couple of the majors. He did not play well. He's kind of playing in obscurity on the LIV tour, so we don't see him much. But I have a feeling he's going to be motivated. I think, has the third highest odds to win this week. And then DeChambeau had a great year last year, came in second in the PGA, obviously won the U.S. Open in like an epic win. He's great for the game. He has a huge following. He's fun to watch. I'm very curious, but he has not had success at Augusta. So I'm really curious to see how he shows up. As far as are they at a disadvantage, I do think they're at a slight disadvantage because the courses they play are basic on the LIV tour, are like resort courses. The setup is not that difficult. Like last week, they were at Doral, which the greens at Doral do not compare even a little bit to the greens at Augusta. They're pretty straightforward. Augusta's greens are insanely fast, insanely hard. A lot of undulation. Like playing at Doral does not prepare you for Augusta. So these guys are so good, I'm not sure it affects them, but it's certainly a storyline coming in that I'm curious to see how it plays out.
You're not the first dude I've heard saying that, like getting ready for the Masters. Just somebody like me who just parachutes in for majors like this. I've heard that a couple times. That people are just so curious to see how they'll do. It's sort of like an unprecedented situation that we're moving into, which kind of makes it alluring. What about other storylines that you are really looking forward to this weekend?
I'm just so excited because there's so many guys coming in. There's so much talent on the tour right now. And when you combine the talent, the top 10 guys on LIV, I think there's a good 20 to 25 guys that could potentially win. And I'm excited for the competition. I think there's a very good chance that we get a Sunday leaderboard with Rory and Scheffler and Rahm and Bryson and Brooks Koepka. Like, it could be an epic Sunday at the Masters. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited. There's been a couple signs of life from Jordan Spieth recently. He is coming off injury and a swing change. The guy obviously has kind of had unprecedented success at a young age at Augusta. He really seems to thrive there. I'm curious to see him. I'm just excited. I'm just excited for the talent mostly. And I have a hot take on a long shot pick. I think Sergio Garcia is coming in, playing really well and LIV. His ball striking numbers are incredible. He has won at Augusta. He's older now. I think he could be a good long shot pick to top 5 this week.
All right, you gave us a taste. Give us some others. Like when you walk into this weekend, I know you like to spread a little money around. What do you like outside of the Garcia long shot, which I'm probably going to be all over? I love that. I love stuff like that, especially.
I kind of have my eye on Patrick Cantlay.
Okay.
He's not one of my favorite golfers to watch, but he's really good. He has yet to win a major. I think he's too good to never win a major. His best buddy, Xander Schauffele, won twice last year. I think Cantlay probably feels like it's his time. He just started. Joe LaCava is his caddy now, Tiger's longtime caddy, who has a ton of knowledge around the course at Augusta. It may help Cantlay a little bit. I'm curious. I have a bit of a hunch that he's going to do well this week. I'm curious to see if that plays out. I love watching Victor Hovland hit a golf ball. That guy won 2 weeks ago, and in interviews afterwards says he has no clue where the ball's going. So he won a tournament at one of the hardest courses on tour and then complained that he has no idea where the ball's going when he hits it. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, because he could win or he could shoot an 80 on Thursday, and I'm dying to see what he does this week. So yeah, those are a couple of the storylines I'm into.
Who should we be rooting for? Like a guy who's a good dude who hasn't come through recently, and now of course Rory comes top of mind. But outside of him, anybody that you'll be pulling for?
I'm a Justin Thomas fan. I love his game. I would like to see him. He's had a tough couple years, I would say. I don't think he's lived up to his potential. If you asked him, his putting has really been a problem. I'll be rooting for him, and I think he's coming in playing some really good golf. Again, his ball striking numbers are great. I'm a huge Shane Lowry fan. He's also coming in playing well. His strokes gained on approach and around the green are really good, so I think he has a chance. I'd love to see Jordan Spieth make a comeback and surprise everybody. And I think, if he's going to do that, this is the place where it may happen. But whenever Spieth is in contention, I think it brings eyeballs to the TV. I think the Masters would love that. I don't know what it is about him, but he's kind of, a fearless shot taker, kind of like a Brett Favre of golf. He'll take a huge chance in a huge moment, and a lot of times seems to pull it off. So when he's in contention, people love it. The ratings improve, and he's a good guy. I think Minwoo Lee, who won last week at Dallas, is a real exciting young talent. He's another guy that just any shot, he's got every shot in the bag, and he's not afraid to use it. So when he's in contention, he's fun to watch. He's had some success. I think he's been like top 30 the last couple of years in the Masters. So he plays fairly well there. I'm curious to see how he does. I'm sure he gained a lot of confidence in beating Scotty in a tight match down the stretch last week. That's got to be huge for his career. So we'll see what he comes to Augusta with this week.
All right, a couple more for you. Just bigger names. Why have we've been talking now for like almost 20 minutes, and you haven't mentioned Brooks Koepka? What's the story there? How has he fallen off? Is he in contention, or should he be in contention at the Masters?
It's so hard to say. Like, I would never bet against Brooks. The guy's a total killer, but he plays on Live, and nobody watches it, So I don't know what he's up to, what he's been doing. But would it surprise me if he comes out and wins the Masters this week? Not at all. I mean, the guy he has a mental fortitude that it seems like a lot of these guys don't have. It's funny. I was at a tournament a couple weeks ago, member guest in Florida, and the speaker was Dr. Bob Rotella, who is a famous sports psychologist, works with a ton of PGA players. And he was just talking about what separates these guys. If you go to the range at a PGA Tour event and you put a towel down at 120 yards, 150 yards, 180 yards, all these guys hit the towel at the range. But when it comes to Sunday, none of them hit it. It's like there's a fear and an inner self-doubt that creeps in these big moments. And Dr. Bob says the guys that win these events are the guys that know they're going to win. And that's why Tiger always won. He showed up every week knowing he was going to win. He did not have the best stats off the tee. He wasn't the best putter statistically, But when he needed to make a putt, a 12-foot putt on the 18th hole to win, he made it because he knew he was going to make it. And Brooks seems to have some of that, whereas Rory, I think, struggles sometimes with that inner self-doubt, and everybody's rooting for him to pull it off, and he just hasn't seemed to have that killer instinct when he needs it.
That's an awesome note, dude. I'm so pumped you shared that, because it reminds me of when the Cowboys played in their first Super Bowl with Jimmy Johnson. He took like a long 2x4, right? It's stretched across, I don't know, like 30, 40 feet. And he put it on 2 cinder blocks, right, at either side. And he had all the guys walk across it. And it was like, no problem. But he was like, now, if I put this between 2 skyscrapers, how much different would that be? Right? You guys walking across it. Like, it's the same shit. Right. And it's just like, who can rise to the occasion and have that confidence? It gives me goosebumps. I love that stuff.
I love that too. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. So let's go a little blue here. Some of these guys have beautiful wives. If there's one guy you're looking for to be in contention, so you could, hey, that's not a bad aesthetic. Who is it?
That's a good question. I mean, DJ's wife always brings it. Paulina Gretzky, she's not afraid to dress. She's not as afraid to dress provocatively. She's very attractive. Yeah, a lot of the guys that are really the top golfers these days seem very wholesome. Their wives seem very wholesome. So I'm not sure. Kepka's girl's pretty sexy. Those would be the 2 I would go for. The live guys. The live guys seem to bring it in that respect.
The live guys run fast and loose, right? That's not a surprise.
They really do.
Hey, what about
Bryson had some real buxom blonde with him last year at the Masters. The press got a couple photos up, but I don't know if that's his girlfriend or what.
It's so funny, like these young women, and they're there supporting, who they love, and they can become social media stars overnight, right? Like a quick image.
Big time.
Yeah, like such and such is a gorgeous wife. Check her out. What about Rory's relationship status? Now, he's back with his wife, right?
He is. I mean, obviously no idea where he's at with that, but that was pretty crazy how that all played out last year. And I would imagine that affected him on the golf course. A lot of guys talk about how they play better golf when their personal life is in a good place. Yeah. And Rory does seem to be in a good place right now. I know he is with his wife. They were at the par 3 contest today. They had their daughter Poppy with them. I think first time his daughter has come to Augusta. I was actually thinking maybe that would be a good sign, because I've heard him talk about, he had one of the most crushing sports defeats that I've been a viewer of last year at the U.S. Open when he missed that short putt.
Dude,
and I heard him talking to
Greg Norman stuff,
It was tough, man. And I remember being like, God, he must be devastated. I'm devastated as a fan. He must just be crushed by that. But he talked about going home and playing with his daughter and realizing, like, hey, this is not the end of the world. I'm playing a game. I get to come home and play with my daughter. So I don't know, man. I think his personal life's in a good place. His game is in an incredible place. I mean, Rory is playing good golf. He's a much more well-rounded player than he's been in the past. He was always like a world-class driver of the golf ball, but his putting's been great. Around the green's been great. He kind of fixed some of the problems he had with his wedges. Like, this is the year for him. Like, let's get it done, Rory. Let's get the Grand Slam, get it done, and move on. And I feel like once he does that and gets the monkey off his back, I feel like he's going to win 3 or 4 more majors like in the next couple of years. I feel like this mental hurdle has been holding him back.
Okay, tonight when you get the pen and paper down and you get in touch with your brother Patrick, who we affectionately call Bear, what bets are you going to make? Who are you putting your hard-earned money on?
I'm putting money on Rory because I just want to have money on him when he wins a major. I basically put money on him every time. His odds suck. I think he's like 6.5 to 1 or something. I'm going to put some money on Sergio as a nice long shot. I think I don't have it in front of me, but I want to say he's like 150 to 1. So that'd be great. And then I'm going to put money on JT and Cantlay just because I have a hunch that they're going to play well this week. I really like the storyline of Cantlay having Joe LaCava on the bag. And I just think Justin Thomas has been playing really good golf and really wants to make a statement this year at Augusta.
Mike Barton Jr. I mean, that is really, you have not brought it on the Rogue Media Network since your appearance on The Payoff 4 years ago. That was amazing, Murph, for real.
That's not true. I did the Masters preview last year, didn't I?
Well, I didn't. Maybe you didn't bring it like you did just now, Murph. That's the point. I didn't say you hadn't appeared. All right.
Right.
That was money, dude. All right, I guess we'll say this segment was brought to you by Mobile Lease Trailers. Get in touch with Murph. I got his contact if you need it. Well done, Murph. And tell Megan next time you get the office, all right?
I will.
Dude, I set you guys up. You got 2 kids. Give us the goddamn office for 20 minutes.
I know. I walked in there. She said, "I'm on a call." It was not a friendly. I got ripped off, and I just turned around with my tail between my legs.
you know who's the boss over there. All right, Murph. Yeah. I appreciate it, dude. That was awesome, man.
All right, see you, man.
All right, see you, bud. Scotty, was that not awesome?
That was awesome.
That was really, really good.